Hello, everyone. So today, I know it's been a while since I've done one of these, but we're going to get into some Kemetic studies. Today, I want to talk about the quantum laws of the Ennead and the Duat. So, I've been studying Kemeticism and really embracing that area of spirituality for a few years now. And starting off, initially, I understood that there were some misconceptions. One, the Duat, typically as it's presented, it's shown as the underworld or the land of the dead. This doesn't necessarily match what we think of when we think of the underworld or the land of the dead. When we think of it, we think of the place where people go when they die. But I found it to be more accurate that when discussing the underworld or the Duat, they're talking about the natural world, the earth as we live in it now, or more so the quantum grid of light and energy that rules this physical world. That's more so what the Duat is. It's the quantum realm itself. So when you're looking at figures as the ruler of the Duat, it's not necessarily the ruler of the land of the dead, it's the ruler of the natural plane by quantum means, right? We understand that everything in the world, everything in this world is made out of light. Nikola Tesla said it best: if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, you have to think in terms of sound, light, frequency, and vibration. That is the law, that is the currency of the universe itself. So I found it fascinating when you begin to address the Ennead. The Ennead is the Council of Netzeru, or gods, but the Council of Netzeru, the first family. This is the family tree breakdown of who came first and then descent into what we have today. So I found it interesting that the first one that we get to is Ra, or Atum. Well, Ra is sun. He's not a sun god. He's just the sun. Represented by the sun, he represents divine consciousness, light, right? And you'll notice quickly that the Ennead actually reveals the states of matter, and it's really giving you the science on how to create. Um, so it's safe to say, honestly, that Kemeticism in its ancient form was really the precursor to our modern day quantum physics. This is the birthplace of it, understanding sound, light, frequency, and vibration. So it starts off with Ra, which is light, the principle of light itself. Then you go down. Ra, or Atum, splits himself into two forms. Now, this original form of Ra is both masculine and feminine. This Atum, this first Adam, as the Bible would put it, is both masculine and feminine. It's an androgynous figure. So from himself, he creates a masculine form and a feminine form. The masculine form is Shu. The feminine form is Tefnut. Well, Shu is typically regarded as a deity of air or wind, but truthfully, the principle that he represents is gases. So you're going from plasma or light to gases, and then Tefnut represents liquids, typically regarded as a water deity, but she represents liquids. Next, we have their offspring, Nut and Geb. Well, Geb represents solids. Even though he's regarded as the god of the earth, he's more so just the personification of the principle of solid matter. Nut, vice versa, is representative of the heaven. She's the cosmos. She's that which is above. So just that quick, you have light or plasma, which then slows down into gases, which then slows down into liquids, which then slows down into solids. This is what they taught us in elementary school, that matter is just particles moving at different speeds. And this is what we're viewing through the family tree of the Ennead. You're watching light make its descent into lower and lower dimensions, still expressing itself. Well, according to the myth, the science, Nut and Geb have kids. Well, Nut represents the heavens. Again, Geb represents the solids or earth, but specifically solid. So when heaven becomes solid, they had some kids. Typically, you'll see 4 kids. In order, they are Osar or Osiris, Set, Aset, which is Isis, and Nebuchadnezzar, who is Nephthys. This is typically the offspring of Nut and Geb, as you will see them. And they're regarded as, like, well, the first family. However, I came to realize that there's actually a 5th offspring, which is actually the firstborn, and his name is Heru-ur. Heru the elder. Heru means the Most High, that which sits above, that which is above, and it's a sonship principle. It's the first divine offspring. And in a way, Heru-ur is everything that Ra or Atum was, just redistributed and recollected into the solid plane, where the heavens have now become solid, where that which is above has now reached the earth. This is what you're getting in Heru-ur. And then, so I believe that those other 4 siblings are actually manifestations of Heru-ur, where you see the positive, the negative, the masculine, and the feminine. You see positive masculine in Asar. You see negative masculine in Set. You see positive feminine in Aset. And you see negative feminine in Nebuchadnezzar. All of these are necessary. You're looking at the duality, positive, negative. You're looking at the duality, masculine, feminine, because these go into effect. It's believed by many that it's at this point that the Neteru actually became physical entities. Agree or disagree, but the science gives the framework for that thought process to be legitimate. That you're dealing with the point in which that which is above, that which was purely energy, then became physical, became housed in the earth in some way, shape, or form. So again, what does this have to do with quantum law? Well, this is understanding duality. This is understanding the different types of energy. This is understanding the states of matter, understanding what is necessary to create what. You're looking at the speeds of different frequencies. You're looking at the speed of light and the divisions of light as it's necessary to create. That you start with light. It slows down into gases. It slows down into liquid, then into solid, right? And it's from that point, this is the descent of thought into matter, when thoughts become things. This is something where the great teachers like Neville Goddard and Manly P. Hall and Joseph Murphy and Lester Levinson, all these amazing teachers were trying to convince people in their own way that it's possible for thoughts to become things, and it's much easier when you begin with a thought, because thought connects you to an energy source. It gets you into a vibratory field in which you in your own right begin to act as the conduit for that which is above to reach earth. You are the place where heaven reaches earth. This is kind of what they reference in the Bible, where it says, don't you know that you are the temple? I'm going to destroy heaven and earth shall pass away, but, the heaven and earth at that time was simply the temple. So heaven and earth pass away. Heaven and earth was the temple. The temple gets destroyed. Well, don't you know that you are the temple? That means this body that I'm currently in, the structure that I'm used to, is actually the place where that which is above touches down below. We're walking, we're walking conduits of heaven on earth. So when it gets into quantum physics, again, you're looking at particle speeds. You're looking at thoughts become things. You're looking at getting into a vibratory frequency, a vibratory field, in order to manifest that which you want. Now, where does the Duat come into effect? Again, I believe that the Duat just represents the quantum field itself. And all of the Neteru are more so just frequencies of light. All of them are different frequencies of light, parts of the same family, the same royal family. For example, when we look at our natural family trees, the entire family could be the Johnsons. But within that family, you have people who have their own unique identity, their own unique manifestations, and their own unique personalities so on and so forth. So we have a Johnson family. You might have Tom Johnson, Ben Johnson, Maddie Johnson, Hattie Johnson. You know, at no point did they stop being Johnsons. They're still a part of the family. They're still manifestations of the great family tree. Their individuality doesn't extinguish the idea of a one. And this is really what the Netzeru science is all about. That though they are many, they are still one. They're representing aspects of the one. And when you look at it like chemistry, as they are the founders of chemistry, this is just science, right? So you'll notice you go into the judgment scene, right? And you're standing before the scales of Ma'at. But before you even get to the scales of Ma'at, before you stand before the judgment seat of the Christ, you first enter into a hall, as it shows, where there is a line of Netzeru voting on your behalf. And you'll look at certain artwork, you'll notice some of them are holding up ankhs, others of them are sitting still, without an ankh. What if I told you that there is no future judgment day? That judgment day is an eternal place that we're all experiencing. That you're always being judged by the frequency that you maintain. This is what you're seeing in the funerary artwork of Unefer. Of the funerary artwork of Ani. Right? You're looking at someone being judged by the energies of the world itself. And so when the Netzeru are holding up ankhs, that's them voting and testifying, saying that, yes, we resonate the same. You've walked, you are walking in my frequency. That's them saying that he is like us, she is like us. The ones that don't testify of that are the areas of godhood, the areas of the Netzeru that you failed to manifest, that you failed to resonate on. The end result is to be whole, to manifest all of the Netzeru in one bodily form. To be the place where the Elohim, the Netzeru, are fully manifested in the one form. That's the end goal. But most people don't reach that. Which is then where you get to the scales of Ma'at. So this is very common, right? The vote doesn't go unanimously. Because in our own way, we manifest some and not all. We manifest a few and not a lot. We manifest a lot but not all. So a lot of us get outvoted, which means that then comes the point where they do a second vote. They weigh the heart. You get Anpu the discerner, and you get Amit there, who's the devourer. And they weigh the heart on the scale next to the feather of Ma'at. Well, Ma'at is the principle that represents truth, righteousness, justice, reciprocity, right? Harmony, balance, the cosmic order of the universe, that which is righteous, that which is holy, that which is the best, that which is fair. So it's weighing the heart against that standard. This standard does not change. So if the heart is equal to or lighter than the feather, they're permitted access into the upper regions of quantum glory. They're able to access, they're able to go to and fro higher dimensions. Well, in a case where someone doesn't pass the heart weighing scale, their heart is destroyed and they're sent back to try again. So typically this is where people get the idea of reincarnation and rebirth from a Kemetic perspective, but I don't see it the same way a lot of others see it. They think, a lot of people see it as, well, a person dies, they go to the afterlife, they're judged. If they're righteous, they're able to move on. If they're not righteous, their heart is destroyed and they're sent back to try again. And they're reborn into a new body. They get to try life again. No, I believe this happens every day. That every day the frequency that you uphold is being tested. And it's your individual responsibility to manage your own frequency, to govern your temple, to rule your temple, to resonate on the frequency of the Necharu, to establish godhood, to keep your heart centered with Ma'at. That's our personal responsibility that we walk out every day. This is why the negative confessions of Ma'at were recited every day, because you were judged on the scales of Ma'at every day. Not some future, after I die, I might be good enough type of, no, every day. This is what the Hindus call karma. You're judged every day. This is the Christian principle of you reap what you sow. The most common reaping and sowing is the frequency that you maintain. That is the energy that you're giving to the world and the energy that you get back. So you make it to Asar. Asar, again, really the positive masculine aspect, but more so he serves as the archetype for the first Christ. The first Christ figure. And he's the one that's judging the energy. He's the supreme judge of the quantum field, Lord of the quantum realm. I think it's beautiful. And there's so much about Asar. Let me know if y'all would like to hear a breakdown on the Asarian drama and the real archetype of Asar, or Osiris, as many people know him. One of the beautiful things that I found in Kemeticism is part of the understanding of the ancestors isn't just indicative of people who have passed on and who've passed away and live in another dimension, but it also is very synonymous with the idea of the cloud of witnesses, and that typically when regarding the ancestors, they're talking about holy individuals whose hearts maintain that status of Ma'at, upheld that structure, that standard. So you're looking at holy individuals who have the capability of passing to and fro, where they're no longer limited by earthly tethers. They're able to travel up into higher dimensions, and yeah, they're able to move freely. It's a mark of ultimate freedom, which even shows us that we live a life of Ma'at, harmony, truth, justice, balance, reciprocity, making things right, doing what's best, being honest, being fair, right? We live that life. We access a level of freedom, a frequency of freedom that allows us to tap into the higher things. This means that at this point, that which is above is not far away anymore. When the heart really registers on a Ma'atian scale, that which is above is within, and it's accessible. Because just because it's within doesn't mean it's accessible. That's a whole nother topic. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Quantum laws. You understand the Necharu as energies. This is the standards in which we're meant to manifest amongst ourselves. To be fully the divinity that the world needs. To be fully the divinity that we were made to be, that we came here to represent. And with that, I leave you. Y'all be blessed. Links in the description down below for my Patreon, my school. I have a healing school coming up, a healer's masterclass, schooloftheempire.com. For those of you who are interested, also patreon.com/Cave of Mystery. Tons of more teachings available there. So yeah, until next time, y'all be blessed. Later.